Preparing your graphics to be edited in Premiere Pro can honestly be as simple as checking one option box. If we look at our project here inside of After Effects, you can see I've got my lower third example composition. And the option box we need to enable is under the composition settings. So let's make sure in our project panel that we have the comp selected, and then we can go to the composition settings. Then you should go to the Advanced tab. Under the Advanced tab, enable the template option down here at the bottom, and then we'll go ahead and click OK. Now, before I actually go to import this into Premiere Pro, in addition to actually saving it as a template, we need to turn off any extra layers that we might not need. So let's scroll down to the bottom of our layer hierarchy and click on layer 16, and here we can just turn its visibility off. And you can see I have all these other things that I've applied that I don't necessarily need. So let's turn the visibility off for layer 15 and 13, 12, 11, 10, and let me see if there's one more in here. The vignette. I don't need the vignette on there. There we go. So I've turned off any of the layers that I don't need. And just to make sure that I don't have any extemporaneous information kind of sitting around, I'm going to go to my channels pull down here in the middle bottom section of the composition window. If we click on that and look at our alpha channel, you can see, okay, that's going to be our lower third element. So I'll go back and switch to RGB. And let's go up under the File menu and choose Save As. And I'll just save a copy of this. Now, you can save your project wherever you like. I'm actually going to save mine to the desktop. And here, I'll call this lower underscore third template and click Save. And that's it for After Effects. So let's just jump into Premiere Pro. So once you're in the Premiere Pro project, you'll notice I have a sequence and it just has one video clip on that sequence. But I want to go ahead and add my lower third into this. So let's go to the project panel and just double click to open the import dialog box. Navigate to wherever you saved your file. Since I saved mine on the desktop, I'll just click on the file and click import. Now once it opens, I get a choice to choose whichever composition I'd like to import. Thankfully, I only had one, so I'll just choose the one comp and click OK. Now notice the little link icon here. That's letting me know that this is dynamically linked between applications. So any changes I make to this After Effects project will update into my Premiere Pro project. Now, let's first add this to our project. To do that, I'll click and drag my comp right here to track 2. And when I let go, you'll see the video has been added and there was an audio track added. Now, if you don't want the audio track, you can click on the comp to select it, right-click, and then here I'll just unlink it, and then I'll click one more time to select it and press delete. So here we go. I've got my video clip, and let's see how we can edit this. As I'm looking at this, it's kind of bright pink, and I want to use a blend mode to blend it back into my background footage. So if you double-click on the clip here in your timeline, it'll open up in the source panel. And if we go to our effect controls in here, I can go to the opacity setting, and under there, I have a blend mode. So let's change it from normal to hard light. And now I'm getting that purpley color that I had back in my After Effects project. So this looks pretty good. But what if I need to change the text? Say I want to label which pass this is on a wave. So let's say this is first pass. I will go ahead and go to my project panel and double click on the comp. This time it loads it up in the source panel, but if we go to the effect controls, I can actually edit my text. So here, under the title section, I'll type first pass, and I'm using all caps. If I did upper and lower and then entered, you can see it'll update with upper and lower. So I'll just make all caps, and there we go. So now if I scrub through, you can see all the animation that I had for my After Effects project has translated into my Premiere Pro template. Now let's say I need another version of this graphic. Well, I can go back to my project panel, click on my template comp here, and then go up under Edit and choose Duplicate. I can't tell which is which, so let's actually undo that last command and rename our comp. So I'll click once and then click again on the name so I can edit it. And let's call this first pass. Now I'll select the comp and then go up under Edit and choose Duplicate. So let's click once again on the type and we'll call this second pass. And to edit the text, just double click the comp again in the project panel. And then here under the effect controls, I'll say second pass. And in order to add this to the project, all we have to do is drag it and drop it. So here, now when I drag and drop, you can see I've got my second pass. And since I actually added the blend mode here in the timeline, I need to double click on this to load up my effect controls again in my source panel. And I can go back to the opacity setting here and change the blend mode to hard light. So now we have two different versions and we have them blended in with the background. But clients like to change things. So let's pretend the client goes, yeah, that looks pretty cool, but I want a different typeface. Well, this is just a matter of jumping back to After Effects. So I'll jump into my After Effects project. And back inside of After Effects, I'll just scroll up and select both layers. Now, if you don't have the character panel open, go up under Window and make sure character is active. Now I can just click on the pull down and change the font to anything. I have Rockwell active on this computer, so I'll go ahead and enable Rockwell. So now I need to tweak the graphic bar. So let me select layer 2. I'll press U to open up the keyframes. And if I navigate to the second scale keyframe here, I can go ahead and just scale on the X parameter all the way out to make the line nice and long. And now this is properly updated. So I don't even have to save. If I just jump back into my Premiere Pro project and wait for a second, since it's dynamically linked, it'll automatically update. And notice the type is still updated and it's updated with the new text. So if I go back here, you can see there's my first pass and my second pass. So if you need to change something major, like a font or the formatting, just jump back into After Effects. Go ahead and update the template. Then when you jump back into Premiere Pro, whether or not you saved it, it'll be dynamically linked and the text won't change back.